Page 65, Beach Party. On page 64, I could have given a separate lesson on this, but I prefer to just mix it in with this one. They're introducing here a technique we use in pedaling called change pedal. We change pedal. The idea is you have the pedal down and you just lift it up and put it right back down. And it's indicated by that little arrow. In the pedal line, it's interrupted with an arrow occasionally, a little boop, boop, little pulse. That's an indication of change pedal. Just lift the pedal up, put it back down. In page 64, what they're doing on the chords, you'll see we change pedal on a harmony, and each chord is a different harmony. We don't want to run them together. So we would change pedal on each chord, and we would do it after the chord. I would like to present that and demonstrate it all with Beach Party. I want to talk about that. And I'll do that when I get to the pedaling. First, let's learn Beach Party. At the top of page 65, they talk a little bit about chord names. They've been giving you chord names all along. I don't understand why suddenly we're talking about chord names. But you see above the staff, the chord names, you've had them all along. They've just been in light letters. Now they're giving them big, bold letters. Doesn't matter whether it's light letters or bold letters, it's the chord name that's after. And the idea is if there's a guitar player or someone who can improvise on these chords, you can play duets with them. For now, if you get into a fake book and improvising, then you would improvise on that chord, make up your own accompaniment. However, let's talk Beach Party. I keep getting back there. It's 4 lines long, treble and bass clef. We're in the key of C major still, no sharps or flats in the key signature. Make sure you can do the C major scale. I got the video on it, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all before. Okay. 4/4 times, so quarter notes are still getting a count. Well, right hand first. Let's just make sure we know what's going on here. You get C chords at the beginning, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then during the rest you come down to the A minor chord, 1, 2, 3. And then during the rest you come down again. Everything's in the lower staff here. That's fine. 1, 2, 3. And then G chord, 1, 2. Measure 5, coming back up. We're going to play the same chord progression, but in different patterns now. Because we were block chords in the first line, they're all together. Now they're broken chords in various patterns. Measure 5, it's a C chord and as a broken chord, 1 and 2. Then come down, come down. Measure 9, it's a broken chord again in a different pattern. You get the idea? That's all this is. And then the last line, you get all these chords going up. Here, it's like a C major scale here, except we're doing it as chords. So you're doing 1, 3, 5 in every chord. And the technique, let's talk about it, because you're dealing with 3 notes at a time here. So what I do when I do this, because they're all in the same pattern, the hand position is the same. I put my hand in that position, I aim one finger and let the other fingers just go along. And you can aim any finger you want. You should practice with each finger. I could use the thumb. And I just let the other fingers go along. If there's a melody involved, I'll aim the melody finger. So most of the time that would be the little finger. It'd be here. So you gotta think about the little finger. I'm aiming the little finger, and I'll let the other fingers go along. You should also do the middle finger, just for practice. You should be able to do any finger, just to... You don't go that fast. I've been doing this forever, so it's a little easier for me. The point is, I'm aiming at just one finger, and I'm keeping the hand in that position and trusting that the other fingers do what they should do. The problem here, and the thing you have to watch out for, is that in order to keep your hand in that position, you'll get tense. Because you don't want to move. Oh, I've got to hold this position. Ooh. Well, if you'll do this at the wrist, flex at the wrist, you can't get tense. Here, leave the arm still and just come up for each one, move the wrist up here. Here, here. Do it at the wrist. And at first, it doesn't hurt to exaggerate this. Don't hurt yourself, but come up here. Come up. But just aim one finger when you do this. Left hand, well, the left hand's playing the root of the chord. The bottom note, then the A, then the F. Okay, the last line is just all C's. Reach down, octave. You have a rest there at the end, you can come down. I like to feel my way around, so I would reach down for that octave note even though I have a rest. I want to feel it. I don't want to have to look at the piano. And besides, I'm concentrating on the right hand here right now, so the left hand got to behave itself. So at the beginning it's just, and here I'm flexing the wrist here too. And then measure 5. Measure 9, and then 13, 1, and you get a rest here in the left hand, so when I play that, left hand comes up. Here. That's sort of the rhythm and all, you work it out. No hesitations, no wrong notes now, be careful. You can think about the articulation, which they really don't give you any until the end. You get staccatos. Do those if you want. Any other staccatos would be buried because the whole thing is pedaled. It gives us a practice at this legato pedal is what we call it. I didn't talk about the dynamics. They give you an MF at the beginning and good luck with that. At the last line you start a little softer and gradually go up to loud. You have to plan it out. I would say measure 13 is sort of soft. Up a little bit. And then a little more. Loud. At the end. You're gradually getting louder. And you're slowing down too. Okay. Now for this pedaling. You see the pedal indications. And they're changing it with the harmony. But you don't lift the pedal up right where the arrow is. That's what I'm getting at. We're going to lag. We're going to overlap the sound just a little bit. The ear doesn't mind. So at the beginning, I push the note down first and then the pedal. And when I change the pedal at the bar, the next measure, it's right after I play the note. Here, it's each time it's after I play the note. This way that ensures there's always sound, because you're not always going to be absolutely right on with the pedal. You'll be a little early or a little late sometimes. But with this overlapping, that allows for a little off. It's still okay. I would recommend you pedal the last measure. That's loud and it's a whole note. It's loud. We want to give it color. So you can push the pedal down right after you play it. And lift the pedal up with the hands after 4 beats. So I recommend pedal the last measure. Speed we didn't talk about. It's just have fun with this piece. Just a fun piece to play. Let's play it together very slowly to double check our notes and rhythms. I'm going to pedal it like I described, although it'd be easier for you to hear the notes if I didn't pedal it at all, but I want you to see the pedaling too. So I'll give us 4 counts, and let's just do it. I'm not going to do any dynamics. There aren't any really, but 1, 2, ready, go.